When you hear a new project, you think, okay, this may be a come get me message from Kylian Mbappe. But then in the piece that I read from you, co-authored with Jonathan Johnson, it makes it sound like that's not the message. So what is Mbappe trying to say here?
Well, clearly he wanted to put pressure on PSG, not so much to leave the club because he knows that this is pretty much impossible right now. I don't think he wants to leave the club either, even to go to Real Madrid, which at some point will be his dream. But I think it was more about his own status in Paris, in that dressing room especially. He wants his voice to be heard. He wants to be more involved. He wants people to take him as a leader and, make him feel like he's important. Maybe get a pay rise as well. He wouldn't say no to the armband, for example. And the word responsibilities, which is really the word that has echoed a lot from what he's been saying, from the quotes, is like, I'm important for this team. I've scored 38 goals and given 17 assists in my 48 games in Paris this season. I am the best player in this team right now. There's no debate. I've just been voted best player in the league. I need more respect. I want more respect. I want more responsibilities. I want to be more important. And also what that means is he wants to play in the centre. He wants to play as a centre forward, as a number 9. He doesn't want to be a wide player anymore. And obviously that asks a question about what's next for Edinson Cavani, who has been PSG's number 9 the last 2 seasons.
So what does that mean for Cavani, Jules?
That's the question. I mean, the funny thing is that Mbappe doesn't want to play as a number 9 on his own. He would like someone up there with him. And Cavani could be that player, and they could play the two up front. On his side, Cavani says that Mbappe is not proper in and out number 9 either. He's not a proper finisher like he could be, like Cavani is in a way. Cavani has 1 more year left on his contract. So far, there hasn't been any attempt from the club to negotiate an extension to that. Does that mean that PSG would try to sell him in the summer? Maybe. He wants to stay in Paris. He's very happy there. He's just had a baby girl. His family is happy there too. He's 32 years of age as well. So, where could you go next? There's a big question mark though over his future at the club and also what the dynamic will create between him and Mbappe, him and Neymar and Mbappe with Cavani as well. It'd be a hard one, I think, for Tuchel to get to the bottom of.
Stevie, when you think about this dressing room, you have to ask yourself how a guy like Cavani is hearing a message like this.
Absolutely. This is incredible. This kid's 20 years of old. At 20 years of age, all you should be worried about is playing football. And it's comical. He wants more respect. Well, the way he's going about it is he's completely disrespecting Cavani. How do you get respect by running around, flexing your supposed muscles, telling everybody what you want and what should happen? Absolute garbage. I'll tell you, if he's in a dressing room with a bunch of pros that I played with, I'll tell you what, he's getting thrown out the door.
I understand the point you're making, Stevie, but I have to say I disagree a little bit. I more think it's along the lines as Julien suggests.
Shaka, he's 20 years old.
I'm not disputing that at all. I think what you've seen from Kylian Mbappe over the last couple of seasons and listening to the show and his comments of yesterday is that he's turned a corner in that he arrived at PSG at 18 years old. I think you've seen a maturity to Mbappe's game over the last couple of seasons. You're also seeing him taking on the responsibility that comes with not just the best player at PSG, but also the best player in the league. He's now a World Cup winner and taking on the responsibility. Now, where I tend to disagree with here, and I don't think we need to read too much into his comments, certainly positionally, in that he feels that he needs to be treated with a certain amount of responsibility and have the team built around him more in the way that the team had been built around Neymar in past. Now, whether that means shifting to the middle or not, time will tell. Real Madrid built a team around Cristiano Ronaldo playing out wide. Or if Cristiano Ronaldo decided to tuck inside, they would adjust it accordingly. I think this is what he's hinting at.
Who decides?
PSG...
Who decides
well,
who you build the team around?
He's making that decision. He thinks he's making that decision.
He's a player. He's a 20-year-old
Ronaldo's a player.
kid.
Ronaldo was a player as well.
Hold on. He's a 20-year-old kid who's trying to tell everybody at PSG what to do. That's what he's doing.
He's a World Cup winner by far. Hold on. by far and away the best player in this team,
Right, so-
saying what it will take to keep him at PSG in terms of how this team is structured.
By
I
the
have
way,
no
tell you
problem
what,
with that
How does
at
a
all.
20-year-old
None.
know? How does a 20-year-old? Let me ask anybody. How does a 20-year-old know what the board should be doing, what the coach should be doing? This is what I should be doing. I need to do this. I need to do that. He's 20 years of age. He's got loads more to go in far as maturity.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing. He's not maturing off the field. I've never heard anything so much. I've never heard anything so stupid as
I
a
disagree,
20-year-old trying to tell everybody. I mean, Shaka, if I walk up to you and go, right, by the way, you need to show me more respect. Well, is that going to make you do it? Absolutely not.
I know you too well, Stephen.
Absolutely not.
In the piece that Jules wrote, it says that he wants to be consulted on recruitment.
Seriously, why?
He wants to pick his position. I think you used the term Billy Big Time,
Billy,
Stevie, on yesterday's show.
absolutely. Who does he think he is?